Hey, good afternoon. I have my search history pulled up because I want to show you that this was organic, and again, prayer to the one true God helps out quite a bit. You get the concepts that you need spoken into your heart. No, I don't hear audible voices. I have no desire to harm anyone, nor do I have any desire to harm myself. But I do believe this is somewhat what we're dealing with, because the Mormons have this thing called temple sealing, where you do this ritual with people who are not your spouses. Oh, I can't believe all this hypocritical stuff. But yes, I'm searching into false religions because, number one, I almost lost my life because of some garbage that somebody set me up for and made sure that my defenses were down and I was weakened. They have a whole lot of witchcraft in this church. I know this because a lot of them are around me. And they all seem to be also Masons. Now, Masonry is completely incompatible with Catholicism the way I was raised. I was not told of any of this, so the entire relationship is fraudulent. You're going to ask, why do I care about this so much? Because other people out there, I believe, are dying because of this. You see that what I looked up in order, I went from Kirtland, Ohio, Kirtland murders, blood atonement, to Jodi Arias, all on my own. What is blood atonement? Pretty nasty business. What happened to thou shalt not kill? Now, let me be clear. They come out and they said that they denounced this in 2010. But also, let's be clear that desert.com is ran and owned by the LDS Church. However, so-called blood atonement, by which individuals would be required to shed their own blood to pay for their sins, is not a doctrine of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. Blood atonement is a disputed doctrine in which the history of Mormonism, under which the atonement of Jesus does not redeem an eternal sin. To atone for an eternal sin, the sinner should be killed in a way that allows his blood to be shed upon the ground as a sacrificial offering, so he does not become a son of perdition. Yet again, man trying to play God, this never works out well for anyone. This is disgusting and despicable. And I actually, well, I'll get into it in a longer video. It was first spoken about, I guess, from my understanding, from Brigham Young. Now, if we click here, this is a sponsored Mormoner.org. What is blood atonement? First taught by the church leaders in the mid-1850s, but was never put into practice, blood atonement is often associated with capital punishment. Doesn't this fundamentally contradict the idea that all sins are atoned by the blood of Christ? Yes. Does the church still teach this? No. But watch. The church denounced this teaching in 1889 and again most recently in 2010. They do cite their sources. I'll include links. This is being shared per the Fair Use Act of 1976. Again, these people all pull their money together. They have a treasurer, all that stuff. They don't actually have sermons during their services, if you can call them that. They just have personal and private revelations. I can't. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe I'm caught up in a situation like this, and this stuff is still going on in America. Like, I really can't believe it. Because watch, it shows you the Reformation era, allegedly, when a church is undergoing reform, which reform would mean you're becoming better. Then it goes on to say, critics of the church publish books that accuse the saints of practicing, you're not saints if you're killing, number one. Saints are practicing blood atonement by killing apostates of the church. Catholicism, they can say what they want about it, and they do. Let's remember who the accuser of the brethren is, though. And they always accuse you of what they're doing. This is all the same stuff. They're all pulling their money, and most of them have more than one wives, though it's not on the books. So again, plausible deniability. In an interview in 1877, Brigham Young responds that he does believe in blood atonement. Unreal. But then it goes on to say, is blood atonement the same thing as capital punishment? They say yes, but it was never put into practice. Capital punishment. But if you get into this a little deeper, They must like own the whole state of Utah and their government as well. Utah removes firing squads as a possible execution method in most instances. 2004. Like what? This is still, like, a church is allowed to decide this for people? This is still happening in America. Like, this is going on. Did Joseph Smith teach blood atonement? Probably not. There are no contemporary records of him teaching something like this. Well, of course you're not actually going to put that out there. This is unreal. I don't know why I ever moved here. I was so young. And I was a minor, let's be clear. So everything is under fraudulent circumstances to begin with. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to think anymore. I really don't. And some of what this person says, this Brigham Young, is just despicable. Apparently he's a racist. Allegedly, who knows if that's true. And this is what he says. He thinks he's above the law. There's not a man or woman who violates the covenants that will not be required to pay the debt. The blood of Christ will never wipe that out. Your own blood must atone for it. Unreal. Who are these, like, I can't believe this still goes on. And again, let's be clear, this is what I'm reading from their own sites and information. They deny it, of course. But now let's go to something else. So I saw that and I said, I want to know if anyone brought this up at this young lady's trial, because I think she was just some type of scapegoat. Hold, please. And they're shunning me, and I'm not even a part of their religion. Like, I don't have anything to do with it. I was baptized and raised a Catholic. I have nothing to do with this. I've confessed. I've taken of the Eucharist in a Catholic church. Again, our baptism is never null and void. And I've repented of stepping foot on Mormon territory, or whatever that means. I will not go anywhere near one of their buildings again. This is sad. Friend of Jodi Arias says Mormon church killed her slain lover in a blood atonement for his quote-unquote sexual sin. Killed in blood atonement plot. Yep. And it seems like something like that is going on with the Chad and Lori Daybell case as well, but it's never going to come out. It's never going to come out because they have too much money. And they have stock in Moderna. They're the only ones right now who are building temples, and it's very much like Islam, very close to radical Islam. There's always radicals in every group, and that's just an unfortunate truth. But this is what happens when you stray from the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. And the Lord God says vengeance is his, that we are to pray. That's what we are to do. We're not to take any retaliation, no retribution. But they wouldn't know that because they keep their members from reading the actual Bible. I'm just sickened. I rebuke you. I rebuke everything you stand for. You're not invited anywhere near where I'm living or my dwelling places ever again. I see why crosses bother you so badly. And I did not knowingly enter into any marriage covenant with anything like this in mind. But again, like I said, we'll get into it in another video because their temple ceilings and these things, their little fake marriages that they have with other people, mind you, and their adultery, polygamy, seems to be just fine. It's only when it's someone, they want to go after or they don't care for. So, let it be known, I'm a Catholic. I'm a Catholic. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm moving out of Ohio the first chance I get.